Welcome to day 2. Now we are going to understand the concept like, synchronization. So what is synchronization? We are going to cover what are the wait method available in WebDriver, right? What is thread.sleep, and going to validate login functionalities as well. Fine. Let us start from the synchronization. So what is synchronization actually? So synchronization is the basically coordination of two actions. Okay, or you can say two event. Okay, here in Selenium, we have a script and application. Okay, so this while running the script, the synchronization between the script and script execution and the application speed should be sync, right? If it is not sync, then the exceptions will throw. So handling those exceptions, we need to add some wait. So let us understand with example. I'll open a Flipkart over here. Okay. So now here I want to click on this, top offer. So if I click on a top offer, so here the page will be coming over here, right? Here I just wanted to click on the offer zone. So we'll write code for this. So before I just wanted to click on the top offer, then I want to click on the offer zone. Okay. So let us do that. First I will be, let me bring my Eclipse. Okay. So first we need to initialize the WebDriver, right? So WebDriver driver equal to new Chrome driver. So this is what we have studied last session. What is this line? So now we need to navigate to the URL. So we are calling the method get method. So we need to pass the URL over here. So URL will be this one. So after that, what we need to do, we need to click on this top hour. So finding the element. So we need to find the locators first. Okay. So here in this, I'll get a copy. I'll get X path. I just copy this X path for this top offer. Okay, so driver dot find element by dot X path. So I'm giving value over here. So this is what a X path dot. So that is just linked, right? So we need to click. That's it we have to do. So what is this one? This is top offer. Okay, so this is what top offer. Once if you are clicking on a top offer, then the page is navigate to here, deal of the day. So here I want to click on a offer zone. So offer zone. So offer zone is also I can get the expert. Here offer zone. So driver dot find element by dot X path. We need to pass the URL. I mean, you need to pass the X path, whatever you have copied. I just paste it. So dot click. Okay. So now we have done. So now what we have done so far, we need to initialize the driver. We have done navigate to the application, then clicking on a top offers button. Then after that, we need to click on a offer zone. Okay. So we'll run and check it out whether this much is working or not. Okay. I'll run this. So here one pop-up is coming. So I just wanted to click this as well. I'll inspect this. For this, I'll copy the X path. Actually, while running this automation, right? So it is the pop-up is coming, login pop-up. So we need to click on, we need to close this. Then we can click on that. Okay. So what I'll do, So that's what here exception is throwing over here. So after login, so driver dot find element by dot xpath, we have to give the value dot click. So it will be closing the pop-up. Okay, the login window. So we need to close the login window. Then we'll click on a top offer and offer zone. I'll run this now. The login window before we are not giving the length, so that's the way it was throwing the exception before. Okay, now we have now still it is searching. Going to so you could able to see this is still it is running. So now what happened if the pop-up is clicked, top offers also clicked. Offers only it's not clicked. Okay. So here if you see no such element exception. No such element exception in this ID. So where we have given this ID, so we have given a for offer zone. Right? We'll check whether this element is unique or not. Okay. So how to validate whether this element is unique or not? So go over here in this offer zone. We have a expert. I'll just copy this. Come over here, click on Control F. You have to paste the value. So now, so what I'll do? Okay. So now it is showing only one element only. It is the same expert. But why still here it is not identify the element? So why here it is throwing no such element exceptions? Because of the reason, so the script speed and application speed should match, right? So that's what synchronization also. But here in the script speed and the application speed is not synced. So that's the reason we are getting the exception saying that no such element exceptions. Because script speed is very fast. So application speed is very slow. So that's the reason. So we need to make it wait for the script execution. So we need to add a script wait over that. Then it is going to, so till the application open, right? Till the element press, it should wait for the script should wait. Script execution should halt the time, right? So then only it should going to identify the element and it is going to click on the perform some action on the element. So how to add the, so now how we are going to add the synchronization over here, right? So element was already there on the page, right? So we'll check this. This is not a dynamic element as well. Okay, dynamic means the value will be keep on changing, but now we have validated it's working fine. The whatever the expert we have given is correct only, it's a unique only, right? So why it is unable to find the element? Because the synchronization issue, right? So first the initially the element is present on the page, right? First we need to check the element is present on the page. So it's taking a few seconds to show the element on the page. So whenever you are facing no such element exception, even though the element locator is correct, there is definitely a synchronization issue. Okay, synchronization means there is a weight issue. So you need to provide some weight for the particular element. So you need to wait for it, right? It could be 1 second or it could be half a second, right? So something like, there are many wait strategies available. In case if you are working with the driver, right? So WebDriver is very good in handling weight dynamically. As in, like prior to the Selenium WebDriver, in Selenium WebDriver, the synchronization techniques were not available. So what people used to do, they used to write something called as thread.sleep. Okay, so thread.sleep is something like this. So we can provide some seconds over here. So this is a millisecond. So 1000 milliseconds equal to 1 second. Now this is Java internal functionality. So thread is a Java class, Java long thread. Okay, so this is the thread is this thread is a Java class, and a sleep over here, right? Sleep is a method which asks you to provide the milliseconds. So now we have added 1000 milliseconds, meaning that 1 second, right? Which is equal to 1 second. So now it is asking us to add throws declaration or surrounded with try catch block. Right. So whenever if you are added a thread.sleep, we need to add throws declaration or surrounded with try catch, anything. Because while developing the this method, right, the developer forcefully, whoever using this thread.sleep, forcefully we need to add this add throws declaration. That's why they have developed this method. So now I am just giving add throws declaration. Right. So we can do this as well, or we can do, suppose we can add surrounded with try catch as well. Right. This will, the thread dot sleep will actually going to hold the execution for 1 second. If you give 2 seconds, it will be going to halt 2 seconds. Okay. Till the time element show up and it will perform the action. Okay. Now I have added a thread dot sleep, right? So now let's run this, whether it is clicking or not. Okay. I'll run this. See, it is working now. See, you can able to see offer zone also clicked now. There is no exception over here. See here, there is no exception. It's clicked now. So that's what there is there was actually synchronization issue. So we actually need to wait. But this thread.sleep is not at all recommended one when you are working in a WebDriver, right? Why? Because this is a hard coded. Now we have added a 1 second. So next time, suppose it may take more than 1 second for the element to show up. So then again we'll encounter the same error. So we may increase the sleep time, 10,000, that is 10 seconds. 10,000 millisecond is equal to 10 seconds. Now if I run this, what happened? So it is going to halt for the 10 seconds. Right. Wait for the 10 seconds, then only it is going to click on a offer zone. So it's going to wait. Before that, before that time, the element is present also, it's going to wait. Because the sleep will halt the execution for 10 seconds. We are hard coded over here. Hard coded wait. Right. After 10 seconds only, it's going to click on the offer zone. So that is the reason it is not at all recommended. If suppose the element show up in just 1 second, right? So what happens? The 9 seconds will be wasted. Right. Now one more thing, we have written in 3 lines of code only now. And we have used it one time, thread.sleep. Maybe I write a 500 lines of test cases. So many times, maybe 100 times I would have written a thread.sleep. Average of 10 seconds. Now you can imagine script execution time will be increased by 10 seconds. If it is 100 time of test case, 100 test cases, 100 times I have added a thread.sleep. So again, if I am running, what happened? All the elements, suppose if all the elements started showing up in just 1 second, then what happened? 9 seconds will be wasted. 9 seconds into 100 times will be wasted. Right. And again, we are not sure. Again and again, we will keep on using thread.sleep. So this is not at all better approach. Right. So there are some dynamic waits available in case of WebDriver. So which is actually called as I'll show you the. So we can use implicit weight. So we have a different weight is there. So implicit weight, explicit weight, and we have a fluent weight. So these are very, very important things to know, like, synchronization. Right? So to work with the implicit weight, explicit weight, and fluent weight. These things are very much asked in interview as well. So what is the difference in implicit weight and explicit weight? Which one should be using in your project? So those questions and all will be arising. Okay. So, but we'll be studying about all these things. The very first thing we are going to start with implicit weight. So will not be dependent on these strategies. That is thread or sleep strategies. We are not going to use. Okay. So I'll delete this right now. So how we can add an implicit weight? I mean, we have, we are deleted that. I mean, very rare scenario, when intentionally I want to halt to the execution, then I can add a thread or sleep. So you can use it. But normally we are never going to do that in thread or sleep in our script execution. Okay, and try catch block. So now we need to implement implicit weight. So how to do that? So we are going to achieve here in implicit weight. Do we have okay, now if I talk about how to manage that weight, right? So you go to, you need to say manage. So what I'll do from here itself, in driver itself, we need to add an implicit weight. Okay. So here driver dot first method we need to call manage. So if you see manage is going to return an option. Okay. So I'll call a manage first. Manage dot see here we could able to see one of the method called timeout. So we can add a timeout. Okay. Dot timeout. So in the timeouts dot we have a one more method is there, that is called implicit weight. Okay. So I'll add an implicit weight over here. Right. Implicit weight I need to add 10 comma that is the seconds. How many seconds you want? Time unit dot seconds. Okay, this is the way we need to add an implicit weight. So why here it is strikeout is showing over here? Because this method implicit weight long from that WebDriver timeout is deprecated. Deprecated means it's not no long it's going to be available, right? So because now the latest version of the Selenium 4, they have removed this. They have given a different parameter. So we need to pass different parameter, that is duration of seconds we need to pass. Not like this. This parameter with the implicit weight they have deprecated because it's no longer available. So what I need to do instead of you going to use this one, because Selenium version 3 till version 3 we have used this one only, right? If you go in any website, so they will be added something like this. If you try to add, it will throw strikeout. Okay. So now what we need to do in the Selenium 4, we need to use something like this. Duration dot of seconds. So we need to give of seconds. So here we need to pass how many seconds you want to wait. So I can give, if it is a 10 seconds, I can give 10 seconds. Right? Now see, there is no deprecated, there is no strikeout. Gone now. Okay, this is the way we need to pass the duration of seconds. In Selenium 4. In Selenium 4, after Selenium 4, we have to use this one only. Right? So this is what your implicit weight. Implicit wait, actually definition would be if we specify the amount of the time, right? The driver should wait till the time when searching for an element if it is not immediately present. So it is focusing more on immediately present. So implicit wait focus on presence of the element. So this is because implicit wait only checked the present condition. Okay, only present condition. Only present condition means there could be a number of other condition as well, right? But implicit wait only going to wait for the presence of the element. Till the time the element is not present, it will wait for a 10 second, right? But 10 second is the maximum time out here. Okay, if an element is found in just 1 second, it will not wait for a 10 second, right? Till the 10 second it is not element is not present, then what happened? It will throw exception, right? So this is how you will be declaring implicit thread. Okay, and you need to declare it only once, not like a thread dot sleep. Thread dot sleep, how we are using? We are using again and again, all the element whenever we want, we need to use a thread dot sleep, right? But in implicit wait, we define only once. Then it will be tied up with your driver, right? So wherever you use the driver dot find element, the implicit wait will be applicable for the 10 seconds. But it will not wait for more than that. It will only going to wait whenever the wait is required. So if element is found in 1 second, it will not wait more than 1 second. As soon as the element is found, it will going to work with that element. So that is what a different in a thread dot sleep and implicit wait. In thread dot sleep, if I given a 10 second, even though the element is present before the 10 second, it will wait for the 10 seconds. Then only it is going to perform the action. But here in an implicit wait, it will check the only present of the element. So if the element is present in the next second itself, it is not going to wait for the complete 10 seconds. Okay. Once the element is present, it is going to perform the action on that. Okay. Now we have added an implicit wait. So we are not added any thread or sleep. I just remove that. Now we'll run this, how this thing is working for. We'll check it out. Okay. I'll run this. Right now we need not to worry about the wait part. So this is one of the best, best thing in WebDriver. See, everything is working fine. So no error, completely till offer zone it's clicked. Right, this is how you have to manage your dynamic wait. Right, this is what implicit wait has been. Okay, so now, so that is what a difference in thread dot sleep and implicit wait. Okay, fine. Now we are going to validate login functionality. So next thing is we are going to validate on a login functionality. So login functionality. So we are going to enter the username and password, and we need to validate whether it is navigate to the home page or not. Okay, so that's what we are going to validate now. So for that, I will take the website. We'll go this orange is HRM. So this is one of the demo sites. So we'll go and we can use it up. There are a lot of functionalities there in this demo website. So you can, when you are practicing, you can use this website as well. Okay. Now, okay, now I'll create a one more class. So one more class for login functionality. So here I'll copy these 3 lines. Okay. So okay, fine. I'll copy this. So I'll just paste this URL. Okay. Now after navigate to the URL, first we need to enter the username and password. So for that we need to inspect the element. Here username is there, ID is there, so you can use ID. So driver dot find element by dot ID. We need to give a ID over here. So the next one, after finding the element, we need to send keys. So send keys admin. Okay, so this is username. Then we have a password by dot ID. So ID will be password ID will be, we need to click. So dot send keys, we need to add admin 123. Okay, now we need to click the login button. So login button ID is there. I'll take a ID over here for a login. So driver dot find element by dot ID. So ID here. So now this is a button. So what is that actions we need to do? We need to click. Okay, directly once you are finding the element, then perform the action. That is click on the, so the action is click. Once if you are clicking, so what happens if I enter admin, then if I click login, it is navigate to the this page, right? So what we need to do, we need to validate whether this name is coming or not. So how to do that, right? So for that we will be inspect the element. Here if you see there is a text is over here. So we have to get the text, right? We can use ID, finding the element, right? So driver dot find element by dot ID. So ID dot get text. So get text means what happened? It is going to get the text of this welcome Aspia. Okay. So now what happened? I just wanted to validate, right? So what I'll do, I'll be copy this. I'll store it over here in string variable string expected text equal to, I'm giving this value. Okay. Now what I'll do, I'm just getting the get text as well. So first I'll printing the text. Okay. So what I'll do, I'll be printing the text. Before that, I just wanted to store this. Okay. I'll be storing this string actual text equal to this one. It's going to return that string only. So I'm just storing this actual text in a string variable. Okay. Now I just wanted to print this. If I want to print actual text, so it's going to print. So after printing, what I need to do, I need to validate whether the expected one and actual is correct or not, right? Whether it is correct or not. So what I'll do, I need to go with if conditions. So conditions we need to check. If expected text dot equals. So dot equals is going to validate the value of this expected text. Expected text value will be this one. So actual text value is going to return from this method. Okay, it's going to return an actual text. So we are checking expected text and actual text is condition is true or not. If it is true, then it is going to print test case pass. Okay, so else, so we need to print within a double quote means the value is going to print. Without a double quote, the variable value is going to print. Okay, system out println. Now we need to add test case fail. Okay, so what we have done so far, initializing the driver. This is the implicit weight we have added over here. Finding the element, username and password we are entering. Okay, then we are clicking on a login button. Then we are storing in a text over here, right? So whatever it's showing over here, we are added, not this one. So we are getting this text. Okay, after getting the text, then we are going to validate. So we are going to, this is what our expected one. So what it is going to return actual text. Actual text we are getting, finding the element with the ID. Then we are calling the method, we are get text method. So with get text method is going to return the text of the particular element. Okay, now it is going to store it in an actual text. So what happened? I am printing this. If expected, now we are checking the conditions. Whether expected dot equals means it's going to check the value of the expected and actual text variable. Okay, the value will be matching or not. Okay, fine. Now we'll run this. We'll check whether it is. I'll log out from this. Now I'll run this. Okay, so entering username and password, it is navigate to that login. So see, this is what test case pass. Super, right? So now what happened? We have here we have given a print, right? So for that it is printing, getting that using the get text method, it is returning the text. Okay, whatever the text is available in the element, it is returning us. So now we are validating that test case is pass. Okay, fine. So the next class, what we are going to do, we are going to do the data driven testing. So how we are hard coding over here. Okay, now we are hard coding over here. So instead of hard coding, directly we are going to get a data from that Excel sheet and property file, and using a data provider, we are going to pass the value from the third party sheet, meaning that Excel sheet or property file. So we are going to fetch the data from the third party sheets. Okay, and we are going to validate those things over here using data driven method. Okay, fine. Now, okay, I'll add this as well. Enter username. Okay, so after that, we are going to enter password. Then here, click on login. Store the expected conditions. Okay, now here we are getting the text from the element. Okay, now we are printing this, we are validating the both expected and actuals are matching or not. Okay, so this is where we are going to validate. So the same way we can validate in get title as well. So how to do that get title? Suppose if you go over here in a Google page, right? So the same way we can validate the get title as well. So how to do that? So I'll create a one more class. So I'm just creating a class. So the same way I'll be copy these 3 lines. This is same thing, whatever we have studied so far, that is same thing. So now URL I need to change. So URL will be Google page. I just wanted to get the title of this application. Okay, now we are navigate to the URL. So just we need to get the title of the page. So how to get that? Driver dot, we have a get title method is there. So using the get title method, we can get the title of the page. So we need to store this, right? So how to do that? So directly if you want to print, you can print. Directly if you want to print, then you can print driver dot get title. So this is the way also we can do that. Right? If I run this, it is going to print. But whether if we want to store this, so I'll run this now. It's going to return a title of this Google page. So now, see now this is the, so instead of that if I want to store this, then I can store something like this. So how to do that? Get title, if you mouse over, it is going to say get title is returning string. So we need to store this in a string variable. String title equal to, so you can't say that int, because it is going to throw that type mismatch. So whatever it is going to return, the same way we need to, same type we need to store. So this is going to return a string type only. Okay, so now we need to store it in a string type only. Variable name, you can give anything. Okay, now what I need to do? I need to go with print. I can print the title. So this variable. So if you want to print the variable value, directly you can add it over here without double quote. Okay, if you want to print something, suppose if I want to add instead of this, title is, so now we need to concatenate, that is plus symbol, we need to add it over here. So what happened here, within a double quote, whatever we have added is going to print. Then without a double quote, this is the variable, right? So this variable value will be going to print. Plus means we are concatenating both this text and this text as well. So that's what we are, concatenated symbol will be something like this. Okay, now I'll run this. So now the title is Google. Okay, so here this is also we can able to validate. So how to do that? So same way. So same if conditions we can add. If, so I'll be storing one more variable, string expected title equal to, I can add Google. So this is what I expected one. So actually is this one. Okay. So now I'm adding expected title dot equals. So I can add a title. If it is a match, then what we need to print? We need to print we can print pass. Okay. Otherwise, we can add else conditions. We can add a else condition. Else will add this case is fail. We can, okay. Now I'll run this. So it's going to check the expected and actual title. So now it's running. See, the test case is passed because we get a we have already stored this value, and the get title is going to return the same value. So the test case is passed now. So this is the way we need to validate, because as a tester, we know that lot of validations will be there, right? So this is the way we need to validate using the if conditions. If it is a multiple conditions, you can add a multiple else if. Okay, fine. So next we are going to learn, next class we are going to learn the data driven approach with the different data set, how we can add a login with the multiple set of data, and also we are going to fetch a data from the Excel sheet or property field. Okay, thank you.